liberty in the fires of hope and prayer, with boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation.
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Come in where you see where you gonna get. Sit down. That's right. We are rough. Everything. I want rum. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Muma, would you like to join your sonny? I am over here, happy in the mother country, darling, for the Christmas. Your son would be really jumping. Listen to the chorus of what we all will be singing. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. It's Christmas morning. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Mama, drink if you drinking. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Let we fed him, we fed him. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Again, Muma, I have invited Jamaica, lovely Trinidad, Barbados, also Guyana. It's an invitation for a stupendous occasion. You can just imagine, we drink until New Year's morning. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. It's Christmas morning. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Do drink if you're drinking. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. Mama, sing if you're singing. Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum. The fete is grand, bottles of all description. You must understand, liquor to supply a nation. I have ordered whiskey, punch of cream and gin and brandy, lime and tonic water, lemon heart and angostura.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
It's Christmas morning.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Mama, drink if you're drinking.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
No time for shivering.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
On Christmas Day, when Big Ben alarm 6:30, we are on the way to begin this festivity. Later in the evening, we passing through Piccadilly, everybody dancing and singing the same melody.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Mama, drink if you're drinking.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
It's Christmas morning.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Let me drunk if we drunken.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Come and see how we jamming.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Come and see how we betting.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
I mean we shivering.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Lord, Christmas morning.
Net Radio Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music and vibes to start your day right.
Drink a rum and a punch of cream and drink a rum.
Well, I know some people on a Friday, that is exactly how they want to start the weekend. Drink a rum.
And a punch of
Yeah. Drink a jump and fall down.
drink a rum and a punch of
Hey, everybody, good Friday morning to you. Yes, it is a Friday. Fantastic, wonderful, incredible Friday.
Over here, happy in the mother country.
Hoping all is well with you wherever you may be. Yeah, tuning in, tuning on, logging on.
For us of what we
The sound says it doesn't matter how you get here, once you are here. So, Trinidad and Tobago, good morning. Neighbors in the Caribbean, good morning.
Mama, drink if you're drinking.
Friends, family, all our diaspora people all around the globe, different time zones and different time slots. Hey, good morning to you and thank you so much for being with us here on The Breakfast Show.
Again,
It is New Era TT Radio, Net Radio,
right in Jamaica.
the heartbeat of the Caribbean. And yes, we are working very hard to take you above and beyond.
It's an invitation for a stupendous occasion. You can just
I
imagine.
want to say much thanks as always to the Heavenly Father
Drink a rum and
bringing us together for another day.
it's Christmas morning.
Everything that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing on
Drink
to
if
you.
you're drinking.
Sir Charles, that is me.
Mama,
Happy am I to be in this space with you this morning, as always. Yes, and of course we are celebrating Christmas in July. Are you feeling it? Are you feeling it? Well, I'm feeling it, and trust me, I'm loving
the
it.
fest is grand.
I'm hoping that you are doing the same.
Christian, you must understand.
Anyhow, people, as I said, it's a Friday. Welcome to your breakfast show.
Punch of cream and gin and brandy, lime and tonic water.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your double or your morning drink.
It's a Friday reggae starts right here, baby.
That's right here, and it starts right now on your TT Radio. Good morning, everybody, Trinidad and Tobago, the world. Thank you very much for tuning in, and of course, let me say good morning to my co-host, Wendell, who's out this week, and of course, hopefully you'll be back with us next week, Monday, and of course, Richard. So, Richard, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Sir Charles, and good morning to our listeners and viewers, wherever you are across the planet and whatever time zone. We know you have a choice, and we're glad that you chose us and chose to spend the time with the breakfast show this morning. So good morning. Of course, you know it's Friday, so the weekend has begun. And of course, I'm not wrong this time, Sir Charles.
No.
It's the last day of school. School is now breaking for whatever you call it, summer vacation, August holidays, whatever suits your fancy. That's what it is. But you're going to have a 2-month reprieve of some sort in terms of your commute. Not much of a reprieve, quite frankly, because there's so many cars on the streets now, on the roads of Trinidad and Tobago now. But it is a reprieve. Traffic is less when school goes on vacation. So you can look forward to that. And your commute this morning is probably going to be a little easier because, you know, some children are already on planes heading to wherever, and some are already home. All sorts of activities that had to take place this week took place. Even though I know some schools will probably leave today for their little end of year function or whatever it is, or little class parties, that kind of thing. You know, so, but the weekend is here, people. So put a smile on your face. You know, it's the weekend.
Yes, and it really is an exciting time. Holidays always bring that kind of feeling, you know, when you get to just rest it down. You get to rest, you get to take it easy. You've been going all the time. Yeah. And I know around this time we have a lot of people, parents who take their vacation around this time to be with their children over this particular period. So all those who are going on vacation also, hey, just have a good one, man. Enjoy it. Spoil yourself. Do whatever you want to do. It's your time. It's your time. Yeah. But it's a beautiful morning. I don't have any basic greetings this morning. And when Richard, this is one of the months that we don't have any holidays this month either.
In July.
Yeah. You're working, you had to work right through this whole month. You know? Don't look for no public holiday to help you, no long weekend and nothing like that. Nah. Yeah. It's one of those months, you know. But it's a wonderful day. Looked at it this morning, a little drizzly. I see somebody in the chat was telling me in their area, I think it was St. James, was saying it was raining down on that side. Right. And on this side, it's pretty cool. It's not like rainy and stuff. So if you're moving out, I'm hoping it's not too raining in your space. We know how some people don't like to move when it's raining. Richard, for one, you know.
So yeah, no, I don't like it. I know today's supposed to have some rain, doesn't it? But yeah, rain just makes everything inconvenient. You know, during the day.
Yeah.
It slows everything down. It slows everything down. Not only that, it's a time that potholes get masked because you're never sure how deep. When you see a puddle, you're never sure how deep. So you start to avoid puddles, especially if it's a road you don't know. So if you're traveling on a road you don't know and you see puddles in the street, you'll be like, how deep is that, boy? And sometimes you think, that's looking deep. And then people say,
it's a frightening thing, you know, Richard.
Right, and when you go through that, but others like to pretend he's holier than thou, and you don't curse, and you know he's like to portray that. Let me tell you something. There is no Trinidad and Tobago driver that goes through an unexpected pothole that doesn't let out some expletives. None. You do not exist.
Man and woman alike.
Yeah, you do not exist. I say so.
Yeah, it's really something else, you know. You're just going along your way because some potholes you survive, but some potholes when you go down inside of that,
the cars get vexed with you.
yeah. And then you have to go and look for tire or rim or some kind of thing like that. You see, that is the worst part of it.
Even the car itself has given you bad words. You can hear the car talking to you. But yeah, and rainy periods can sometimes master. I tell you, Sir Charles, between Dabadee and Arima Old Road, which comes out onto the Eastern Main Road just before you're going to cross the bus route, if you're heading west. You see that stretch between, you could even narrow it down between Red Hill and that Arima Old Road on the Eastern Main Road.
Yeah. If
you do not know that road, well, there are some monster potholes there. And I am sure anytime I avoid them, and when I'm passing them, as we talking to the potholes, I say, "Only catch me today." But I kind of know the road a little bit better, so you kind of navigate. You generally navigate almost to the center of the lane when you know you're coming up to it, and when you pass it, then you shift back in. That's how you try to navigate it. But they have some, terrible potholes on that stretch.
Yeah, well, I
just on the sides, both sides of the street,
yeah,
and really terrible. I'm sure some people go down in that. I am sure every single day there are cars, at least a couple of cars that go into those potholes.
Yeah, and the thing about this, there are some potholes that you come upon. It's like you pass here yesterday, it might be last week you pass it, and you just pass now, and it just seems to have a new one or two others that you just didn't see, and you just fall inside of that,
Yep. So, but lots happening. There's always news happening in Trinidad and Tobago. Of course, I don't know if you saw the video with Karen Nunes Teixeira, who has been a friend to this program. We've had fiery discussions with Karen Nunes Teixeira, and unfortunately suffered a medical incident yesterday. Hopefully she's recovering. I said I'm going to reach out to her today at some point. At least send her a message, because it must have been scary. And then of course, if you're a private person, I always find medical things are kind of private. They are private. Whatever your medical situation is always a private situation, and to have it broadcast because it happened on live TV.
That is it. There are some things that just take you in some unsuspecting places. You can't do anything about it.
So that's it. It went viral all over Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, wherever else it went.
Yeah, that is good social media thing, you see. So that going all over.
That just went.
Yeah.
But hopefully she is recovering, and she's recovering well. So our thoughts are with you, Karen, and get well. Get better.
Yeah. Really, and truly, I hope that she's doing well. She's doing okay. So we really want to wish her all the best. It kind of remind me of the situation that we saw with the person in Bahamas not too long ago, and she was talking, giving the speech at the function.
I know you all played that video here, but I didn't watch it. I think I was driving at the time. I don't like to see those things.
I
don't like to see those things because I always study family members having to watch that, and it's a loved one. So I don't really watch those things at all. But people have I don't want to say a macabre interest, but there is a kind of let's call it macabre interest in seeing things like that. And seeing what happens, but I don't like to see it.
And it's really a difficult thing to, so yeah. Well, people, football continues today. So congratulations to those.
France settled it yesterday with Morocco.
Oh man,
for sure.
That's a little jinx for Morocco now. And Morocco had to try and get over that hurdle now. This is the second World Cup that they came up against France.
Yeah, last World Cup, France.
Almost the same kind of way.
Because I think last World Cup in 2022, was it? And France beat them 2-0.
Yeah.
I remember that. And this time around was 3. They added 1.
Yeah.
So it was 2-0.
Yeah, 2. It was almost 3, but
almost 3. But it was the same 2-0.
Yeah.
So it's like history just repeated itself in a kind of way.
So you have to try and break that jinx probably for the next World Cup.
Yeah.
Drink some sachet Mali Bush or some kind of thing.
And is this the 3rd straight World Cup? Is it the 3rd? Something? I mean, statisticians in terms of World Cup stats could probably correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the 3rd straight that France has just gone straight through. Well, they have not gone to the final yet.
Yeah,
semi-final round. They're going to the semi-finals now, but it's the 3rd straight World Cup. I think they're going into the semi-finals. I think somewhere in the back of my mind, that's there. But yeah, interesting stuff. What matches they have on today, Sir Charles?
We have one game again today. So Spain is going up against Belgium today.
Right, Spain against Belgium.
4 p.m. for all you Trinis outside there, this is another major match that is on. Well, all matches now are major because this is in real knockout stage. So yeah, so that is what is on today. So all you fans of Spain and Belgium, today we'll see how things are playing out. Yeah.
Yep.
So. Football insights. And let me do good news and come back with it.
Yep, and then we go through this.
8 things that change your life in 1 year. If you do nothing else, do these 8 and watch how different you feel by next year. 1, stop complaining and appreciate how lucky you are every day. Gratitude doesn't ignore problems. It trains your brain to notice what's working, which gives you energy to fix what isn't. 2, embrace loneliness and reinvent yourself in the process. Use quiet time to read, reflect, journal, and rebuild your standards instead of chasing noise. 3, say goodbye to the people that don't bring positive energy into your life. You don't have to hate them, just reduce access. Protect your mood and choose circles that push you forward. 4, turn off the TV and set internet controls. Entertainment is fine, but mindless hours steal your future. Limit scrolling, block distractions, and give your attention back to your goals. 5, pick one skill you want to cultivate and put all your effort into developing it. One high-value skill can change your income, confidence, and options faster than motivation ever will. Commit to the goals you set and never look back. Stop rewriting the plan every week. Choose a direction, break it into daily actions, and stay consistent when excitement fades. 7, sweat every day to boost your mood. Walk, lift, stretch, run. Clears anxiety, improves sleep, and makes discipline feel easier. 8, fall forward and learn from every mistake you make. And don't label yourself a failure. Label it feedback and keep moving even when it's messy. Do this for 30 days, then 90, then a year, and you won't recognize the old version of you.
Yeah, some good advice there for you guys. Well, for all of us, I'm sure there's something in between there, one of those 8 that you can look at yourself and say, you know what? Yeah, I need to kind of do a little more of this and a little more of that. One of the things I'm trying to do is that whole scrolling on internet time. It's really getting quite heavy where the internet is concerned. So many people are now sending you so many things. I can't even open half of the things that people are sending me now, Richard.
Oh, serious?
It's because it takes up so much time of your day because everybody's sending something. I mean, like everybody is sending something now. So if I try to go through every video that somebody sends me, some TikTok, Facebook, Instagram video, it's just too much to go through. Yeah. So I don't open every message. I'm sorry. I try not to because it just takes up too much of my time.
Yeah, because once you start scrolling, that's it. And the internet is kind of, well, the internet is addictive, one. And it kind of reduces human interaction. You could be wherever and you don't have to interface with anybody. You could just interface with your phone. You see it all the time. People wherever they're on their phones, they don't have to interface with any humans around them. Yeah. Which some people may quite frankly prefer. But it can entertain you for hours, and you just may have sat down and said, let me just check stuff for 5 minutes, and then 2 hours later you're still there,
And you understand? That is it.
Yeah.
I would just check that, and then 2-3 hours down the road, you're still there checking stuff. You just, So I'm trying to pull back that. Sorry, sometimes people, see this. I said, no, I ain't see that. I ain't see that. Don't expect me to see everything. I'm not putting myself through that. Sorry. Sometimes I check stuff. Sometimes, especially if like how we doing the show and stuff, you guys send stuff, say nice for the show tomorrow, right? That is for the show tomorrow, cool.
So, but it is what it is. Anyway, let me get to greeting people in the stream on this Friday morning. Before we, of course, this is a day that you're talking more than us. So, well, you all are supposed to talk more than us. It doesn't always happen. We'll see what happens today. All manner of stuff going on, but let's get into the stream this morning and greet the people in the stream.
Yeah, let's use it.
We had Margaret Thomas saying blessed weekend, guys. Good morning, Margaret. There we go. Valerie Mendoza says good morning to the breakfast team. Odell Guy says good morning. Kate George, Kenny in Harlem says good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Kenny. Apollonus, good morning, guys. It's Friday again. Time waits on no one. It's so true. So true. Pamela O'Connor, blessed morning. The weekend is here. Susan Jessup says, God Almighty, His Son Jesus Christ, grace, blessings upon everyone. Sir Charles, Richard, Wendell, love always. Suzanne, Suzette, Corinne, Mrs. Gemma, Maria S., Maria H. Good morning, Susan Jessup. And of course, and the early bird, she keeps reminding about the early bird tickets for the Cooler Cruise ride on the 15th of August. So get your tickets.
Get it now.
Manuela Peters says good morning. Thanking God for another year of the land of the living. Also to my friend Lyran, who turned 70 today. So happy birthday, Manuela Peters. Hope you're having a great day today. And happy birthday to your friend Lyran. So happy birthday to both of you. Robert Allen says, good morning, all viewers and listeners. A weekend has begun. Maria Cellier says, good morning. Boy Badesi from Dene says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Boy Badesi. Good morning, Diane. Diane says, blessed morning. And to the live chat and give thanks and safe weekend, everyone. Erica Charles says, good morning and thank God. Slick Money Grip says, good morning, gentlemen. Happy Friday. Trinidad 2003, great Friday morning to all who are tuned in. Marlon Motley says, good morning. The weekend is here. Good morning, Marlon. Ingrid from Tucson. Good morning, Ingrid. Carol Guevara says, blessed morning. Thank God it's Friday. Empress Reyes says, good morning. Everybody have a safe day. Arlene Lewis says, good morning. Today is a good day. Reaching you in the stream this morning. All of you are here at this point. Michael Eastman says, good morning to all. Debbie Modest, good morning. Have a happy weekend. Shuma Paul says, good morning. Carla Hercules says, good morning. And Carla Guevara is dancing, as is Empress. Okay. Oh, Lord. They went through a little discussion there, so let me go straight here. Trinidad Margot says, good morning. Cynthia says, good Friday morning, Sir Charles and the breakfast crew. Thank you for the music, she says, Sir Charles.
You're so welcome. So welcome.
Robert Taylor, good morning. Good morning, Robert. And she say, well, good morning, Cynthia. Blessed good morning to Richard, Sir Charles, and everyone locked on. That's from Stephanie Santana. My camera is actually blocking me, so sometimes I can't see clearly. Great morning to the Net family, so says Sandra Gabriel. Good morning, Sandra. Ron DeSantis says good morning. Okay. Ian Stewart says good morning. Good morning, Ian. Ilbenj, blessed weekend, Richard and Sir Charles. Good morning. Empress Reyes would have said good morning to Black Panther. Says good morning. The weekend has begun. Have fun, people. Michael Robinson, good morning from Yokohama, Japan. Good morning, Michael. And to all of our listeners in Japan, good morning. And Noel says good morning to the Breakfast Show and all locked on listening from Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. So good morning again. Joyce Phillip, top of the morning. Garvin Frank says good morning. Sankofa says greetings, special healing for the Grandison family. Stephanie Santana says, I love the good news segment she's saying, Sir Charles. Margarita Chow says, good morning, gentlemen. Have a great weekend. Deborah Noel Serret says, good morning. And she's saying she got in a little bit late. Kurt Hope says, good morning. As well, Sankofa is saying, Sir Charles, you're not censoring what they send. What is
the censor, Sankofa?
You just Dublin, good morning. Wade Ramsey says good morning. Merle McCoy says good morning and have a good day and a wonderful weekend. Prabha Ramdial says good morning all. Have a great weekend. Same to you. Manuel is saying thank you for the greeting. Thanks for the info, Sir Charles. Claire Lender Rollins says good morning and I wish Alistair Rollins happy birthday for me, please. So happy birthday, Alistair Rollins. We have a fantastic day this morning and a fantastic day today. Bernadette Yates, good morning. And finally, Kathian says good morning, gentlemen. And somebody just came in there, well, Sankofa. So that's it. That's it for people in the stream this morning. So good morning to everybody in the stream this morning. And if you have anybody on WhatsApp, Sir Charles?
Yeah, man, of course. You have Miss Sampson coming in at 4 something this morning. Miss Sampson is up early this morning. Also, let me say good morning to Kristen Kirap, Kent in Lavental, also Peter Wilson out there in St. James. Zena and the Powder Puff ladies, good day to you. Debbie out there in Mova. Good to have you up early. Foxy up early this morning also, saying blessings to God. Captain Ron, who's moving around today, he's in Brooklyn. All right, okay. Also, Miss St. Augustine. Rita Bodo Jennings, good morning. Frank in Aruka, Mr. Billy in Porter Magazine, CJ in New York, Mr. Beeps in PD Valley, Judith out there in Mount St. George, Tobago. Judith, I already have to come your way soon, I really want to come bad. Okay, I think that's everybody we have on the WhatsApp this morning, and thanks everybody for locking on. So 25 minutes before 7 o'clock. Imagine that. So you know you have to make that move right about now, right? Stay with us. When we come back, we'll check and see what's happening in the newspapers today. And of course, all the other things. We have plenty of things to do on the other side. So stay with us on The Breakfast Show.
Are you a business owner? Well, take advantage of Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV Christmas in July advertising special. Throughout the month of July, enjoy 33% off all advertising packages. Whether you are micro, small, medium, or large business, now is the perfect time to put your product and service in front of the people who matter. Reach your audience through radio, television, and social media, all at 33% off. Don't miss this limited Christmas in July offer. Call us today at 281-1315 or 299-5156 and let Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV help you grow your business. But hurry, this special offer ends July 31st. It's Christmas in July on Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Get ready.
The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Gael TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
All aboard!
Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on Net Radio Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200 after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumbox, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Small, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your cooler, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the scene.
Okay, we are here. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
Yeah, of course, we can get straight into the newspaper headlines for this morning, for this Friday morning. So I'll start off with the Trinidad Express for this morning and go with the main stories. So the latest headlines in the Trinidad Express this morning. Nunes Teixeira recovering after medical emergency on live TV. So we did talk about that briefly this morning. So hopefully Karen Nunes Teixeira is recovering, and we all of our thoughts, and I'm sure a lot of people here, all of their prayers and stuff will go towards her. So get better quickly, Karen, and the breakfast show is wishing you all the best. TNT secures US $800 million bond issue. So they had gone to the US market for that, and it was oversubscribed by something like 400% or something like that. So that's good news. So I suppose Minister Tanku must be very happy with that. And so they got that US 800 million bond issued and completed. France, too good. Kylian Mbappe. Okay, well, it's going into the match from yesterday. I don't want to click into it because when you click into stuff in the experts, it's a little difficult to unclick and come back out.
You know, one thing I forgot to tell people about the game yesterday, with the goal that he scored, he's now tied with Lionel Messi as the all-time top World Cup scorer. Yeah. So,
okay.
Yeah, so he and Messi are now even Steven going down the road. And the both of them have games to play again. So that is an interesting record we're looking at the end of this World Cup.
Yeah. TNT youngsters ready for Barbados challenge. That's another story. Hadid's next bid for release is set for Tuesday. So businessman Dominic Hadid and his wife Genevieve will make another attempt to secure their release next Tuesday when the Court of Appeal hears an urgent procedural appeal arising from their challenge to their detention under the state of emergency regulations. The date was set yesterday by Justice of Appeal Peter Rajkumar during a hearing at the Hall of Justice in Port of Spain. So that story, of course, continues and is, getting more and more, how should I say? Because I think the government is also moving to revoke the leases that Hadid's would have had for
situation.
Yeah, for Blue Waters. So it becomes, as I say, it becomes curiouser and curiouser because of how it's playing out.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, because of the language that has been used in Parliament, it looks pretty much directed. It almost seems personal. I don't know that it is, but I don't know if it is. Let me say that, but it comes across that way. Yeah, there's an element of that. That's how it comes across. It's like you're directing all of your energy towards a particular result.
Yeah.
So this all plays.
If the case already makes you wonder why, I mean, like it's like the gods battling at the top of the hill there, Richards.
Well,
something major is happening.
It's just I suppose people may be watching it curiously and saying, well, what the hell is actually going on? But I mean, I suppose ultimately everything ends up before the court system. So the court system, will be the arbiter on what exactly, because we don't exactly know what's going on behind the scenes. We wouldn't. But the court system always brings a lot of things to the light or will resolve things in whichever direction.
And that is so true.
ExxonMobil backs TNT in deep water exploration. $0.8 million of heavy equipment for Venezuela relief. Nestle's review raises concern in dairy sector. A media insight marks 15 years of turning data into strategic intelligence. Brian Lewis on the business of seeing, exploring opportunities in the St. Lucian market. NL technology key to credit union relevance. TNT Chamber CEO awarded DBA for work in regional services trade. And okay, all right, let me come out. So that's the Trinidad Express. Let me go to the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning and see what are the main stories there. So just giving you a sense of the headlines of the newspapers in Trinidad and Tobago this morning. Trinidad and Tobago Guardian, Hadid's granted appeal. Well, this is badly phrased, Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. But I will read it as is.
Yes, it is.
I'll read it as is, but it's a clumsy construction. Hadid's granted appeal court meets on Tuesday. I am actually putting in the breaks for it to make sense. Hadid's granted appeal. Hadid's granted appeal court meets on Tuesday to review Justice Sipasa's decision not to release couple from detention. Okay. I'm supposed to get the gist of what they're trying to say. Rowley claims state officials threatened him. I'm not so sure about that story.
Come, read that story now, man.
Let's go into that story a little bit.
Yes, that is a very interesting.
Former Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says he has received threats from certain officials of state, but insists he is not intimidated, warning that he believes the country is entering a dangerous period where state power is being used against perceived political opponents. Speaking exclusively with Guardian Media at his Goodwood Park Digger Martin home yesterday, Rowley claimed threats have been directed not only at him, but the People's National Movement's Balize House headquarters. They could target me if they wish, because I've been getting threats from sitting officials of state that I am next, and Balize House is next, Rowley said. They could do that if they wish, but I only have one country, and that country is Trinidad and Tobago. I fought for it, and I will continue to fight for it. Asked who made the threats against him, Rowley declined to provide names. Asked whether he was concerned, the former Prime Minister said, "Worried? Me? I look worried to you? Do I look worried to you? No, I have one country. I fought many battles in this country and for this country, and I will continue to do so." Rowley accused the Kamala Persad government of targeting people based on perceived political affiliation, saying citizens were becoming fearful. The government has declared war on the people of Trinidad and Tobago, largely on the basis of who they perceive them to be supporters of politically. And if this country doesn't believe me, those who are feeling the pressure now, my advice to you is ban your belly. There is more to come. He said the administration was operating on the premise that if you prospered under the PNM, you must be destroyed. Rowley also addressed the ongoing public debate surrounding businessman Dominic Hadid, who remains before the courts following his detention under the emergency powers regulations. Rowley avoided direct comment on the matter, but criticized the political narrative surrounding the case and raised concerns about the weaponization of preventative detention orders. Hadid's attorneys have argued in court that statements made by Attorney General John Jeremy during the debate on the extension of the state of emergency formed part of the context surrounding the detention. Well, we know that entire story, so I have to go through it, but that's a sense of what that story says. And as I said, for a lot of people, is if you have the evidence, charge, and if you don't, release. But if you have the evidence, charge, but so that people can get their day in court, because there's a presumption of innocence until proven guilty. That has not changed. Calypso icon Mighty Sparrow turns 91. So happy. Is that today, Sir Charles?
No, that was yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, yesterday was yesterday.
Rowley rejects Kamala's CARICOM victory and Beckles slams government on PDO strategy, rejects PNM drug link claims. I think the opposition had a press conference. Was it yesterday or Wednesday? I can't remember. In terms of business news, what is the process for restarting Warakara refinery? The new digital strategy for the AI economy. Wellness proponent launches new CMOS brand. Ansel McCall's Bleach Tech appoints new CEO. And VAR, a decision-making problem. Nunes Teixeira recovering after medical emergency on live TV. Is Mr. Hadid really a friend of the PNM? That's also one of the articles in today's Guardian. In sports, Gibson Sportsville leaps to Barbados long jump crown. West Indies slapped with fine. WTC points deduction for overrate in the second Sri Lanka test. Cyrus bolsters prison service club shield attack with Kizar. Beatniks claim 3 titles to return as Aruka Pride, and Henry to miss Ireland tour due to injury. So that's it for the newspapers this morning, Trinidad Express and the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. And because we are a little bit behind time, but we're not really behind time, but we go straight into our Did You Know?
This year is another proud moment for Trinidad and Tobago. Again, Southside. So a father from up on my side, he braced me over there and said, Paul, I have something for you to share, boy. I have a story, my son, boy. And when this man explained to me, and I was like, but how come? How come I'm not seeing this all over in our media houses here in Trinidad and Tobago? Trinidad and Tobago makes history. 14-year-old Rondon Wilkinson wins our nation's first ever gold medal at the Pan American Archery Championships. It's very fine for the Zuma team. At just 14 years old, Rondon Wilkinson represented Trinidad and Tobago on the international stage and delivered when it mattered more. Competing in his first international tournament, he overcame nerves, trusted his training, and won Trinidad and Tobago's first ever Pan American Archery Championships gold. His achievements reminds us that greatness can come from any corner of our nation. Fact.
And the gold medal and first place for Rondon Wilkinson from Trinidad and Tobago. Primer lugar y medalla de oro para Rondon Wilkinson de Trinidad y Tobago.
New national records. Guys, that is something big, innit? The first to bring home gold for Trinidad and Tobago in archery. Come now, man. All make some noise now. Let clap, shout. Make some noise for the youth, man. Rondon, big up you. And continue to make Trinidad and Tobago proud. Yeah, man. Something worth sharing.
Yeah, congratulations to Rondon Wilkinson.
Yep. I think that story was in the newspaper, you know. I can't remember reading it, and I can't remember if we talked about it on the morning show. I don't think maybe we did.
No, I don't think we did.
But I did see that we had won that gold in archery. So congrats them, you know, and good. That's like almost a good news. But it's
you didn't know, but it's a good piece of news.
It straddles good news and did you know? Yeah. Because you may not have known, but it's good news too.
It's good news.
Oh, good.
That's right. You are so right. Oh my word.
All right. So what we do, of course, Friday is usually your day to discuss stuff and bring up whatever you want to talk about. So the lines are now officially open at 281-1315, 281-1315. The lines are open, or 299-5156. So 281-1315 or 299-5156.
All right, so the lines are open to you. Let's take your call.
Yep. So all manner of stuff is going on, and I'm sure you have an opinion. But do you think that people, you know, Dr. Rowley said some things there. He said that people are fearful. Do you think that people are fearful, Sir Charles, in terms of speaking out? And do you think that this government is projecting intimidation? Do you agree with Dr. Rowley?
I don't think so, really. You know, I don't think so. Because people seem to be saying what they normally say in any case. I don't see them saying anything more or less right now, you know. But you know, when they maybe at the political directorate level that he's at, and maybe some other maybe that's why we don't really hear from the opposition too much. I don't know if that might be the case, Yeah.
Well, they do have. Don't they have a weekly opposition media conference? I think they do.
I think they started something on a Monday and on a Tuesday, which we really
Because
should learn more from them, because seeing that the government is not doing any postcap,
they're not doing any postcard anymore, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
But this government seems to have the public too much. They seem to have that kind of strategy. At least it comes across that way.
They're not doing things the normal way with some things, just like when the press conferences were not being held at the diplomatic center and other places, was being held at their party headquarters and all different kinds of things. So they come across as not following the normal status quo with a lot of things. But I have a caller there, so let me take it and when we get back there. Caller, good morning to you.
Right, thank you very much for the breakfast show. It's always nice being the opening batsman this morning. I want to comment on two things. One is they just concluded, I think it was the 51st CARICOM head the government conference. I know it was stated that it will be had another tension and all this kind of thing. But I like how it played out. I really, really like it. I think our Prime Minister made some very, very good contribution. And by sending that issue, where we heard some very, very noted people in the society didn't like how that reappointments were done, and not only her alone, had some very distinguished, people in the from the university and all those places really spoke out against it. And in Jamaica, Honorable Prime Minister, right, he spoke against it also. So I like how that played out, and I also like how she gave this assurance that the Trinidad and Tobago will be willing to accept patients who have lost limbs and things, and giving them that opportunity to use our prosthetic, center here, and also with the ferry, open the ferry to go to different islands and this kind of thing. So I think some nice thing came out. I think we came out good, and I hope the healing process started, and it will not be looked at as a talk shop or a boys club, and some tangible things where Trinidad and will take back the rightful place in leading the region as we have done. Thank you. And the next point I wanted to make is the football. I know my team went over already Brazil. A lot of people, maybe 3/4 Trinidad and Tobago is Brazilian. But I am seeing that where it's coming down, where we say in the horses are bunching, with the final 8. And all could happen now is Messi. So I say no bias to Messi, but I think he did a very, very good World Cup, and I wish him all the best, and his team, Argentina. Thank you very much, Dan, and also to the goodly loyalty. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Sibili. At the end of it all, I think we really would have, I don't know if what to say, gain some ground, but I think we at the end of it all, despite all the tensions that we have been having, we would have had a pretty decent showing at the last CARICOM meeting in the last couple of days. Yeah. Caller, good morning. Ms. Sampson.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Richard, and yourself, Chelsea. I would appreciate if, when certain people discussing matters,
Ms. Sampson,
something making noise on your end. When don't say Trinidad and Tobago, like when the PM was speaking on the CARICOM, Trinidad and Tobago or Trinidad citizen. We don't care. We wasn't in the fracas, we wasn't in the melee, we wasn't in the comments, we wasn't in the hell cheese, man. You did it on your own. Stand up and say, well, you are sorry or whatever. Don't say, well, it's the citizen. We don't know what they're doing. It's a certain race and hate, and at the end of the day, you're calling the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago or Trinidad this or Trinidadian this.
But Miss Sampson, that isn't what issue are you actually talking about?
The same the CARICOM nonsense.
Okay.
When she was saying load up the Matic, wasn't Trinidad and Tobago citizen. So face whatever it is and don't just stand up and say
but that
Trinidad
was not CARICOM
and
issue,
Tobago
Miss.
citizen was not approved. Was not the Trinidad and Tobago was not approved. Was you had a bone to pick. It was like a dog with a bone. Don't put us in your melee, your fasa, your cheese and whatever else.
Okay, I'm not really following, but
I'm saying, yeah, totally something different there.
Yeah, I'm not really following it.
Yeah. But Richard, we get into our morning poll. The morning poll is a little lighter this morning, people. All right. Let me tell you where this morning poll came from. I was talking to somebody yesterday, right, Richard? And he's telling me that somebody, his former girlfriend, gave him this present that he had there, and one of his partners, I think it was some perfume or something like that, right? He never used it. And one of his partners was celebrating his birthday or something like that, so he gave it to his friend. So
I mean, he ran up and say, "Oh, happy birthday," as if he buys something.
He just pass it on. Hey, happy birthday to you, man. Look, I'm thinking about you. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Yeah. So that is where the poll came from. I said, this will be a nice little fun poll today. Yeah.
You ever re-gifted a present?
So
somebody give you,
yeah.
You wrap it up and say, "Hey, look what I get for you."
Yeah, but something that somebody gave you, somebody a present that somebody gave to you, whether it be a spouse or a friend. I know people do things like mugs and stuff and things. You get that from you. Somebody give you that, you pass it on to somebody else. But have you ever done something like that? That is what we're asking you this morning.
Okay. So there's the morning poll. Have you ever re-gifted a present? It's a little devious, but have you ever re-gifted a present? If you have, you're voting yes. You're voting 1. And if you have not, you're voting 2.
Yeah. So we rely on honesty this morning. Have you ever?
You're showcasing people. You're setting up people, you're setting them up.
No. We're asking a question, right? It's Friday. Have you ever re-gifted a present? Somebody give you something, and they probably expect that you will keep it for life, but you pass it on to somebody else, Yeah. Like, I bring this for you. Sometimes some people give you presents, so you really don't have any use for it, Richard. Use that, that sort of thing,
I will always value when somebody has given me something special.
I say, you'll have it back. You have it back up there. If you're not using it, you won't give it to somebody else.
No, I will value it.
Well, people, we are asking you this morning, have you ever re-gifted a present, right? So we are going for our news. When we come back, we'll tell you how you voted. So if you're voting yes, you're voting 1. If you're voting no, you're voting 2. All right? Stay with us. News is straight ahead.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar is defending Trinidad and Tobago's support for U.S. strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean, saying legal advice received by the government does not classify the fatalities as murders. Speaking at the close of the CARICOM summit in St. Lucia, Persad-Bissessar said local investigations have found no evidence that Trinidad and Tobago nationals were among those killed, and stressed the government would act based on the rule of law. CARICOM Chairman Philip J. Pierre said the region remains concerned about the reported loss of life and is still awaiting information from the United States. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley described the issue as legally and geopolitically complex, adding that while countries have the right to respond to threats, she would prefer solutions that avoid loss of life. Police say the investigation into the death of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi could be completed by the end of this week. Senior Superintendent Rodhill Kirk said investigators have carried out directions from the Director of Public Prosecutions after submitting the case file in April. The DPP is now expected to decide whether any charges should be laid. Angelica died after being struck by a jet ski while swimming at Pigeon Point Beach in Tobago on April 8th. The incident prompted the passage of the Tobago Marine Park Bill, which is now awaiting further review before being debated in Parliament. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is reminding event promoters that they are responsible for managing activities at public events and ensuring all license conditions are followed. Speaking at a media briefing, ASP Russell Owie said police officers are deployed to fetes to maintain public safety, while organizers must ensure performances run on schedule and comply with court-approved closing times to prevent disputes. The comments follow the arrest of 5 Silver Stars Steel Orchestra players after a confrontation with police at Tribe's band launch. Owie said the TTPS respects the steel pan community, but because the matter is now before the courts, the police service will not comment further at this time. In some good news, a Presentation College Chaguanas student has been selected to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the prestigious 2026 National Youth Science Camp in West Virginia, USA. Kavir Monbode, a lower 6 student and aspiring doctor, is the country's sole participant in the 3-week STEM program, which runs from July 11th to August 1st. He says he hopes to pursue a career in medicine because of his passion for biology and helping others. Kavir, who is also a National Youth Ambassador and STEM Award winner, thanked the U.S. Embassy and NIHurst for the opportunity. His mother described him as self-driven and said she is proud of his achievements and dedication to science and innovation. Also, the legacy of the late Sundar Popo is set to reach a new international audience, with a remixed version of his iconic hit, Kaise Bani, featured in the Bollywood comedy Dhamal 4, which opens in local cinemas on July 16th. The new version is performed by Neil Kamal Singh and Mamta Sharma, with rapper Dheeraj Babuan and music producer Aditya Dev. The singers say the energetic remake is a perfect fit for the comedy film. Originally released in 1969, Popo's classic Faluri Bina Chutney Kaise Bani became one of the most recognizable chutney songs and has been remade several times over the years, cementing the Trinidad and Tobago music legend's lasting influence on Indian and Caribbean music. Finally, the conflict between the United States and Iran has escalated again, with both countries exchanging fresh strikes as tensions continue in and around the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. says it struck 90 Iranian military targets, including coastal defense and military infrastructure, while Iran says the attacks killed at least 14 people. Tehran responded with strikes targeting U.S. assets in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar, and later reported attacks on sites in Jordan and Iraq. Meanwhile, shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has dropped sharply amid the renewed fighting, raising concerns over global energy supplies. The latest violence comes as thousands gathered in Mashhad for the burial of Iran's former supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, with both Washington and Tehran trading sharp warnings over the future of any peace talks. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show. Hey-ya!
Never, never. Bring drinks, man, bring sips. Your friends are here. Never. Bring drinks, man, bring on drinks. I said to bring on sips, man. Never, never. Never, never. Never, never. Never, never. You say I'm passing by everybody. In Wheaton and in the country. Make sure you stock up your bag. Artists in America. Bring the punching. Bring the babash. Bring the whiskey. Bring the brandy. Bring the butter. Bring the butter. Never, never. Never, never.
Wake up early Christmas morning. You see me house don't have nothing. I don't know where my girlfriend gone. I'm so hungry and care about all. I know you're living fast, so I jump in my car. No, you cannot hide from me 'cause I'm man hungry. I don't know what to do, so I come in by you. Bring out the money to I eat and dry bread.
It's a Friday, baby.
When you looking?
Hey, left New York, come Trinidad, everything cool, everything real fine. Long time I don't come back home to enjoy myself for Christmas. Alright, this girl Caroline, she's a good friend of mine, she always have real lime. But let me tell you this one time, this girl, she got the sweetest wine. That really blows my mind. This girl, she got the sweetest wine. Then she was on my spine. Well, long time I don't check Caroline for the real fine wine concoction. It make me eye touch, this got me not lie, my body can't function. So soothing, just oozing, make me move in slow motion. You understand me, Capitan? This girl, she got the sweetest wine. That really blows my mind. This girl, she got the sweetest wine. Then she was on my spine. Well,
Christmas time is here again. It's the fiesta, aligning with all your friends. It's the fiesta, right around the Christmas tree. It's the fiesta, be like Santa or Jolly. It's the fiesta, it's Christmas time again. Time to celebrate. Jesus Christ is born to save all of us. Time for family and real unity. Plenty food and drinks. Watch me paranging. All of we real hungry. Wait to go hand and turkey. It's a real and bunch of them. We plan again with big friends. Christmas is a joyous time for all of we top all around. Wait to check in we hand. Watch how we form around. Christmas time is here again. It's the fiesta, aligning with all your friends. It's the fiesta, right around the Christmas tree. It's the fiesta, be like Santa or Jolly. Oh, come, be faithful, joyful and triumphant. Oh, come, we will come to Bethlehem. Come and behold him, born the King of Ages. Oh, come, let us adore. Oh, come, let us adore him. Oh, come, let us adore in Christ the Lord.
It's the original of all original, the outer, international. My name is Daddy G, better known General Grant. It's a Merry Christmas to you and you. All right, everybody. We got this Scotch chanting. We got this Scotch chanting. Hey, what the babash, what the beer? Don't forget food to eat. Yes, ham and fasting.
Who say you have to wait until December? Celebrate Christmas in July with the perfect mix of festive favorites and great music on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Christmas time, going from house to house. Yeah. Christmas time, we moving in the city, straight to the country. Hey, we go Central Bossy. Hey, we doing celebrating, sharing and giving. Hey, let me start the banging. Everybody knows something about we moving from house to house. Christmas time.
coming for more. Girl, I want it, girl, I want it, girl, I want your sweet wine. Just give me your, just give me your, just give me your sweet wine.
No matter what religion, no matter what faith, every day is Christmas, and God is always great. Coming to my house, sit down at my table, laugh, eat and drink. Oh, we should be thankful. Merry Christmas to mankind. God is love, God is love.
Mornings just got better. You're locked into Net Radio Breakfast Show, fueling your day with the best music and real talk.
Sharing love is so divine. God is love. Joy.
Well, everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to the second hour of the Breakfast Show. And of course, yes, you are here locked on to Net Radio, New Era TT Radio, taking you above and beyond. It's a beautiful Friday as we head straight into the weekend. Come on now, man, you have to lighten up a little bit on a Friday, Michael Oliver. All right? Yeah.
This is Christmas, y'all have a Merry Christmas. This is Christmas.
And yeah, let me say good morning to all the folks that came in very early, the Anthem crew. I love the Anthem crew. They come in just like about 3, 4, 5 minutes before 6 o'clock. And you just see the numbers rolling up, rolling up, rolling up, rolling up. Yeah, hey, thank you so much. And of course, all the folks that came in along the way, we're happy to be here with you. Of course, the Breakfast Show is heard Monday to Friday.
We jumping around, we having fun, we drinking liquor, everybody has one. We having a time, Christmas is the lime, so drink.
Let me get back to port. Right, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. until 9 a.m. we are here. Wendell Stephen, who has the week off. Richard Ragubar Singh, who is here. And of course, yes, Russell Charles. Having a fun time. It's a Friday. Let me say good morning to the folks on Gael Caribbean TV joining us also. And thank you very much for keeping us out there. Gael family. Remember when we come off of the social media feeds and of course Gael at around 9 o'clock, guess what you can do? You can listen to us all day, every day, even into the weekend. We got great programming. I know some of you are not aware that we are streaming all through the day on Net Radio, you know. Yeah, we are programming right through. So all you have to do is come across, when you don't find us on social media, just come across to netradiott.com. That's NETT radio TT.com. And you can listen to us, right? You can also listen to us on a number of streaming platforms like TuneIn, Online Radio Box, Simple Radio, Radio Garden, MyTuner. Oh my word, we are global. All you have to put in the search engine is Net Radio Trinidad. That's Net Radio Trinidad. And you'll be able to find us, right? You'll be able to give your smart devices that command. So say, Alexa, play Net Radio Trinidad or play NETT Radio Trinidad, and you will be logged on, all right? Of course, all our social media pages are active. So if you are on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, and of course also on our WhatsApp channel, and you can join our WhatsApp channel, all you have to do is go and search Net Radio Trinidad, all of them. Put your branding, like, subscribe, follow the pages for us, please, 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 please. We love you. Also, when you go to our Net Radio TT.com, when you go to our website, there's a donate button there, so you can donate to support us here on Net to keep us up and running, okay? Your support is greatly needed and appreciated also. So our morning poll, how many people give you things? Some things that you may not use or have used for. Have you ever regifted something that somebody gave you? Perfumes, whatever is the case, yes, and clothes, shoes. Have you ever regifted something to somebody? If you're voting yes, you're voting 1. If you're voting no, you're voting 2. We have a lot of people voting on this one. I didn't expect so many people voting on this one, but trust me, it just goes to show that you guys can lighten up a little bit. Yeah. Well, you're not so stuck up all the time. Nice. Alright, so when we come back, we'll tell you how we voted. Remember, we're getting ready for Color Week Cooler Cruise. That's coming up on August the 15th.
Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your cruise. Join us on Net Radio Color Week Cooler Cruise in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early bird tickets are just $200, after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Kure, Bats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall, and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your cruise, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Color Week Cooler Cruise, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Color Week on the sea.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you a business owner? Well, take advantage of Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV Christmas in July advertising special. Throughout the month of July, enjoy 33% off all advertising packages. Whether you are micro, small, medium, or large business, now is the perfect time to put your product and service in front of the people who matter. Reach your audience through radio, television, and social media, all at 33% off. Don't miss this limited Christmas in July offer. Call us today at 281-1315 or 299-5156 and let Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV help you grow your business. But hurry, this special offer ends July 31st. It's Christmas in July on Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Get ready. The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Gael TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
back on the breakfast show this morning. And of course, it's Friday, so the weekend has begun. So put a smile on your face if you don't have it yet. The weekend is here. And you know, we love a weekend on the breakfast show. So thank you for being with us. And this is our second hour. We're towards 8 a.m. this morning. And of course, we're going to continue to take your calls. You can bring back up the polls to Charles before we give the results. Yeah. So our poll this morning, have you ever re-gifted a present? Doing it like this morning. One, you vote. If you're voting yes, you have done it. You put one, and in the stream. And if you're saying no, I've never done that, then you put two in the stream. So we'll take maybe 1 or 2 more minutes of voting, and then we bring up the results.
Yeah, and if you look at distributed to the poll this morning, you know, which is really good. But if you would like to actually call and tell us about your experience, we welcome it. We love live experiences here on the breakfast show. So give us a call, 281-1315-299-5156. Have you ever regifted something that somebody has given? Well, one person on the WhatsApp was saying their response was, yes, sometimes because people give you a lot of things that you have no use for, Richard. So what are you just going to do? Store it up in a room, and there may be other people that can utilize it or use it. So they give it away.
You're trying to justify.
No, I'm telling you, because
a gift.
Yes.
No.
Look at somebody.
I'm so Charles, to be honest, I was racking my brain to see if I've ever done that, but I can't think of anything that anybody has given me.
I am sure there are things, man.
Was so out of the realm of what I would use that I gave it away.
Yeah, but look,
I can't remember anything like that.
Yeah, I know I've given.
The only way I could see something like that is that somebody gave me something and I have not opened it as yet, but it's something that I may be able to use, but I have not opened it as yet. And an emergency situation, I'm going like at a friend for a birthday lime, and I say, oh my God, I forgot to get something. And that gift is raised up his hand and say, hey, I opened it yet, so it will look new.
You see, so there are things.
You know, that's the only thing I can think of. And I don't think I've ever done that, but I just, you know, I'm just racking my brain. Did I ever do that? I can't think of. And I'll just a quick glance at the stream. Well, you have some ones, but I've seen a lot of twos who say they've never done it.
Yeah. You know, but there are 1 or 2 comments also that, you know, will tell you what they have done. I think people call us now, man, 281-1315. 299-5156. It's a Friday. Yeah, the weekend is here. Lighten it up a little bit. And, share your thoughts on this particular poll. Have you ever re-gifted, you know, something that somebody gave you? You know, yeah. I mean, I have. I'm telling you, there are quite a bit of things people have given me that some things I really have no use for. Sometimes people come by me and they see some certain things. Hey, what is that? Yeah, somebody give me that. You know, thing. But I know for sure my sons do that to me all the time. They always come by me for all kinds of stuff. There was a time when I looked on what do you call it, my dresser, Richard, I had 23 bottles of perfume. What I do with all that sort of perfumes, or colognes, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, you know. So
your sons took care of that.
Yeah, they did. But at the time I had to stop them, you know, because they're doing the restock, you know. they stop. But I have had things that people have, you know, given me that I pass on to others. I am, you know, especially around Christmas time, sometimes I get a lot of stuff. I got a lot of hampers, gift certificates, and there's always somebody in my neighborhood around me, you know, that I can always find to donate stuff to. So I give away stuff. Yeah.
All right, well, bring up the results then.
I was hoping
Let's
I'd
see.
get at least one person to call me and tell me, okay, I'm getting somebody here. Miss Sampson, good morning.
Morning. I used to do that all the time when I was living abroad. You know, when you're working, everybody used to throw in a box and exchange gifts and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a set of stuff. I never used to buy a gift. When Tom give me the gift, I give it to Harry. He started to say, why I have it home stuck up doing nothing. And I used to save my money because I know they just spend money to waste. You see
That is it. Yeah. Thanks very much, Miss Sampson. Yeah, you have a whole lot of things back up there that people give you. You have a whole storeroom of thing that people give you that you're not using. Come on, find somebody who could utilize the thing and give it away. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Front and center.
Front and center. Me, an Norfolk engineer via Florida. Front and center. Hey, I answered no. And just like everybody else, I lying. Okay? So, I don't care what Wallace say, right? There are some people who could really use it, right? And look, if just make sure, you see, there's something called 6 degrees of separation, right? So just make sure you ain't give it to somebody who knows somebody who related to somebody who or work with somebody who whatever.
That's all right. That's all right. It doesn't matter. You give it away with a good heart.
Who knows what milk can so bad? Right? Anyway, hey, my message, my text I sent earlier, right? Hey, I'm keeping it light, okay? And this is still light as far as I'm concerned, right? I put in there FIFA. Federation of International Football Association really stands for Federation of International Football Argentina.
Oh, Lord.
After that Egypt game,
it doesn't matter. Thank you very much.
No. I'm sorry, guys. Nah, but I ain't gonna be.
Win is win any which way we taking it. That's all right.
But I enjoy it completely football. But nah. Anyway, hey, thank the Orange Man for at least for interfering.
We're trying.
Okay, is there a sense? Is there a sense from you that in the United States people are following the football? I know, United States has been generally considered not a soccer playing nation, even though I think that's changing because so many children play soccer. But
yes,
but is there a sense that it's a big event in terms of viewership in the United States?
As a matter of fact, because of the high level of ignorance, I don't mean it in a negative way, but the ignorance of the game, right? I remember in college, I was told that, hey, guys who make the soccer team are the guys who didn't make the cut for football. That is their football, right? Right? But guys who used to say that it's in a real game and all that kind of thing, these guys now have some excitement about it. Maybe yes, maybe because the US is in it, but again, because they sat through a game, right? They've now got to appreciate it, right? So yeah, and it's really, really catching on with the guys who I know never, like a financial advisor I know, never used to follow soccer, right? And now, hey, they're gung ho, and they say they're really enjoying it, especially. What we call tailgating, before American football game, you have the parties, the barbecues, the whatever, right? They're enjoying just the atmosphere, and you will see it with the videos. Even people who from opposing teams and opposing countries all getting together, having a good time, and so on, regardless of who win, who lose. So it's good, and yes, Richard, it is, definitely catch on. If it hasn't before. Now it really catch on. Anyway, guys, take it easy and thanks again. Cheers.
Okay. Yeah, I guess like everything else, it will pick up. Yeah.
Well, we can give you the results of our morning poll, and of course, our poll this morning was: have you ever re-gifted a present? We kept it light this morning, and it's kind of pretty evenly split. This is the most evenly split poll we have seen in a while.
Long time.
48% of you said yes, you have regifted a present, and 52% of you said no, you have not. You've never done that. but 48% of you said yes, and 52% of you said no. So it was a pretty split, almost 50-50, not exactly 50-50, but almost, in terms of people voting on the poll this morning. So it didn't go up to, so it's 48% saying yes and 52% saying no. So that's it for our poll on this Friday morning. We kept it light.
And it's still moving, you know. I'm watching how it's going.
Yeah, I feel it shifted a little bit, yeah. So it's 48% to 52.
Yeah.
So it's almost a 50-50.
Yeah.
In terms of the morning poll this morning, which we kept light. But of course, now we're just going to open up the lines because this is your time. Friday is the time you say you want to call and talk. Especially those, especially those who are always listen but never call in, but maybe sometimes want to call. Intimidated. Some people get a little intimidated about calling in to talk. But you don't have to. Just talk about whatever your opinion is on stuff going on. I have just zoned into what Dr. Rowley said about, that so many people are fearful to express their opinions. And I saw another blogger saying that yesterday. I can't remember her name, but she's not based in Trinidad. She's based out of Trinidad, and she comments a lot on what's taking place in Trinidad. And she said, she has the luxury, I guess, if you wanted to put it, she didn't exact of not being in the country, so she could talk her mind a little bit more freely. So now I was like extrapolating from that and seeing, does she mean that we can't talk freely? Or is it that a lot of people are in fact fearful to talk? And Dr. Rowley now re-emphasized it in the article that I would have read this morning, at least part of the article that I read, that people are fearful and fearful of this government in particular. So I would like people to weigh in on that. Are you fearful of this government? I know people are looking at what is happening to the Hadiths and the issuance of preventative detention orders. And I suppose that's part of the mix in terms of how people are seeing stuff. But are you fearful about expressing your opinion? Do you think that this government is making you fearful? Or you disagree totally with what Dr. Rowley is saying? Let's hear some opinions on that. 281-1315 or 299-5156.
Yeah, that's a very interesting development there. But he didn't give any examples directly as to what
But he said he was threatened by state officials. So he is speaking in the context of what he's seeing is happening to him personally. He didn't name the officials, but he did say it. So I don't know if people feel that way. Well, let's hear what people say. I shouldn't say I don't know if people feel that way. That's like expressing an opinion.
Well, they have no fear of chatting here this morning, but for some reason I'm not seeing or hearing you all on the lines this morning.
So 281-1315, 281-1315. We're taking some of your calls on 299-5156.
Are you fearful to chat?
But I mean, we can discuss anything. You can talk about anything that you want. Yeah. I was just noticing that and whether people are in fact feeling some level of fear or concern government's approach to dissent.
All right, I see a couple of people coming in. Ms. Sampson, are you afraid to speak?
Yes, we are. We forget the two ladies that was locked up, and then they free the Indian one, leave the African one inside. I don't know if she's still in.
Ms. Sampson, I just afraid to listen to some people sometimes. Yeah. Oh my word, Ms. Sampson. That's easy. Yeah. Sometimes I'm not afraid to talk. I'm afraid to listen sometimes. That is my fear, Richard. Listening sometimes, Richard, is my fear. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
Morning.
Sir Charles, you know, I never agree with nothing Dr. Rowley said.
Mm-hmm.
I want us this time break ranks and say, you know, he might have said something that makes sense. Because even we who are members of the UNC, who supported the UNC openly, are fearful to make comments because we are afraid that they are afraid of victimization. So there's a definite silence among certain members of the UNC at this present time for fear of victimization from your own party, because you might say something that you might make a comment that they don't like, but it's the truth. So people just silence. There's a definite silence around certain members of the UNC right now that they're not saying anything because they're afraid of victimization. One particular instance, I could bring to the table. There were certain statements made about the fraternity, the law, and nobody answered or nobody made any comment after that statement was made by Philip Alexander. Because they've attacked an international institution, an institution that has existed for decades, centuries, coming out of the House of Solomon. And he attacked it in a malicious way. But the question of secrecy continues to be the issue that no one in the fraternity will say anything, or no member of the party who is in the fraternity, as myself, will come out publicly and denounce that ridiculous behavior of a minister of government about a fraternal organization as the Lord. There are other issues that are affecting us that the party was supposed to take care of that they're not taking care of. And members, I know, because I talk to the majority of the ground troops that at a different level, and they are worried to say anything. Normally, I had a blog of I had a broadcast with some 200 persons all before the election. I cut that off because I feel I would be saying things that the ministers on that blog might see me as against the party and not saying to the party, well, look, you cannot go the road the PNM has gone. And you need to correct these things or else you just as the PNM. So there's a fear. There's a fear among the about how it is keep the government.
All right. Thanks a lot for that that insight in terms of how you see it, and that's from somebody who supported the UNC. So that's I suppose it ramps it up in a different direction too, because even UNC supporters are fearful, because that's what he's basically saying. You know,
because of victimization. You know, but I'm wondering in a situation like that. Okay, so your party's in power. How many people normally, not just really this government, talks out against the party, or like supporters of the party? You know, sometimes I would just wonder
is there a real fear then?
Yeah.
So is Dr. Rowley right then that people are fearful to speak and to have dissenting opinions about the government and some of the decisions they're making? Is it that people are reluctant to speak because they fear victimization? Is that real? Because that's what Dr. Rowley is saying. Now let's look at the facts. What has happened? You've had certain for the first time, as far as I'm aware, in modern Trinidad and Tobago history, you do have, this is just factual, you do have restrictions on where you can protest. And I don't think ever in Trinidad and Tobago's history, modern day history, post 1962, has it ever been that Woodford Square has been blacklisted as a place that you cannot protest. Because it's historically a place of dissent and debate and discussion. For the first time in modern history, post 1962, it's a place where you cannot protest or have a dissenting voice. Does that make you fearful? But there's a historical significance to it, and which history is going to judge and record as Trinidad, because everything lasts for a particular period of time and everything evolves and continues moving. So all of this will be historical context that historians would look at. 20 years, 30 years from now, 100, 200 years from now, they would look back at this period and analyze it like you do any period.
Right.
So is all of that contributing to the fearfulness? Is it the arrest of people like Alyssa Phillip and stuff, the movement with regard to the protests that and that she led, and her arrest and her mother's arrest twice? Is that fueling fearfulness for people to speak out? Is it intentional? Or is it just the police operating like they should within a state of emergency parameter? Also, I mean, since you've had consistent periods of states of emergency, I think unlike any other period, at least as far as I'm aware, that it has been so continuous, because it started with the PNM. Let's not forget that. The state of emergency started with the PNM just as they were going out of office, and has basically continued. So is it that the police were just doing their job within the state of emergency parameters, or was it an attempt, or is it an attempt to
silence?
Silence.
Yeah.
So,
Richard, hold 1 minute there with your thought. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, Sir Charles. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
Good morning, whenever you are, and all the listeners and callers. Definitely, I agree with Dr. Rowley, because people aren't free to even say how they feel. And jail is not nice. You understand? Because even if they could take people's phone and look and hear what they discuss among others, you get in lock up. Who want to go to jail at the state and the age of their life and the state of the jail? Jail is not a vacation, So of course people are fearful. They have instilled that fear for all the restrictions that were put down. And Dr. Rowley is quite right. Quite right. Because
so you feel fearful. You feel fearful, Zina.
Pardon me?
Do you feel fearful in speaking out on any issue at this point in time?
Very much so. Because what I might want to say might land me there. So why not? And you self-afraid to hear some of the things people have to say. Look how you just be blocking quick for yourself.
Yes, because
you don't even want to hear it, far let's speak it.
Yeah, because we live in a day of litigation, you see. So
this is what I'm saying, and people don't have the kind of money. You have the kind of money like what the Hadiths have. I don't.
No.
So okay. So, and I don't have anybody who I know would pay for it for me.
Yeah, so, all right.
Dr. Rowley is right.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
Thanks very much.
I mean, that's so unheard of that Zina agrees with Dr. Rowley.
What is that, Richard?
I just spoke at her and said that is so unheard of, Zina agreeing with something Dr. Rowley said.
Yeah. Captain Ron, good morning.
Good morning, gentle people. Happy Friday. Um, Gentlemen, so Charles, I really strongly recommend to you, instead of being scared, like scaredy cat, of what people say, especially loyal listeners, where you're cutting them off, you can do like what every other talk show host does around the world and also in Trinidad on other stations. After someone makes a comment, and all you have to say, instead of you being scared, you put out a disclaimer. The opinion is of the caller and not of the stations. And that's what everybody does. So this is avoiding cutting off people who are loyal listeners. I think you should really consider that. So that's about it.
Yeah.
You guys have a good weekend.
Okay, no problem. Thanks very much.
Yeah, I don't have that disclaimer. Yeah, that disclaimer just come up on the screen.
Yeah. But I will tell you something also, Captain Ron. I mean, we have been in talk radio for a long, long time. We started on a radio station that had a tagline that said, "No more limits."
Yep.
Until we end up in front of the court and realize that it have limits. And I remember one of my managers, because that question I asked to one of my managers at the time, can we just put disclaimers? And he said that does not save us in court. It is set on whatever is said is set on our platform, and we allow it, and we are held responsible for it. So I don't know, maybe in other jurisdictions if that works, but I'm not too sure how that works here in Trinidad.
Yeah, but whatever it is,
Yeah.
You just have to you just have to remember that we are not exclusively online totally, because we are also on broadcast television.
Mm-hmm.
So especially for a portion of the show. So you'll still be guided by what Tat would say in regard to that. Online presence, maybe you'd have more leeway, but you could still run into trouble because there are cases where people have been sued for what they have said online, even in private posts.
Yeah, and that is because if you realize now for social media, people for what they are saying and posting,
you can be held accountable. And we are in this period. I don't know. I don't know what kind of giant cookie broom need to hit planet Earth, but planet Earth seems to be in a cycle where people feel they can be cruel in terms of say whatever they want to say. Where people are intolerant, where people are leading to be intolerant of everything, and where people are being, where race has surfaced and become as ugly an issue, and in terms of world politics and world the world space and discussion. It just seems as if the onset of technology has taken human behavior back in terms of people's common decency to other human beings and their right to exist and be happy. And it generates from, if you go on social media, you might live in an island space in terms of Trinidad and Tobago where you just have 1.5 million people, which of course is a suburb of some cities. And you would think that, all of us have a common experience and grow up in a particular kind of way in terms of going to school together. And I look at some of the comments on social media and people are just downright ugly and cruel about what they feel they can say about other people, regardless of whatever perceived difference it is. It's horrible. And I'm sorry, Sir Charles, for interrupting, but it's horrible, and it's also being perpetuated by politics across the planet, where politicians are also infected by this disease of being able to be uncouth and unmannerly and unkind and wear it as a badge.
Yeah, and you're so right, and you see it play out at all levels. Because even this morning on the chat, I normally when Wendy say he checks the chat on it, but I just glanced across at the chat this morning, and I'm seeing one of the listeners putting something in the chat, and I say, even if he wants to say something, is that is a language that you feel you have to utilize in the chat, and so and people don't self-regulate, and the more room you give them is the more vile they get, so.
And people are so caught up sometimes in self-interest about navigating life, I guess. They accept it. They accept and keep quiet about people's lack of manners, lack of human decency, and they go along with it. Even though at core, they know that that's a horrible value that is being espoused. And I don't know how children, I wonder sometimes how children navigate all of this. Because if this is the example that so many adults are setting, because the internet is not restricted, even if you were to make a law that said 16 and 17 years old, or people under 16 can't go on the internet, they will still find a way. Because children are more creative at getting online than all the old fogies. They will still find a way.
For real.
And so, and they're going to be privy. And I mean, a lot of them not on Facebook because they find Facebook is for old people. But a lot of the comments that you see, why do people feel so empowered to say ugly, hurtful things? And sometimes in the name of religion.
I wanted to hold this on right there, Richard. Kola, good morning.
Morning, Richard. Morning, Sir Charles.
Morning.
I am saying to you, Dr. Rowley is right. And I want to say something here too. The level of hypocrisy in this country, a lot of people can sit in a blind eye take, right? At the end of the day, when you look at people like Senator Zanda and the Panakil and these people, right? And this senator, I forget his name. When they say things, nasty things about people in this society, the government that they are presently representing, they zip them out. If you're not hearing again, no PD or no nothing coming to them for what they're saying, they are not being incarcerated or corrected when they say these things, because they're representing the same people who is using each other and Tobago police service to do this work for them. And the level of hypocrisy, as I say again, in this country, people only see one side of the coin, right? They only see one side of the coin. When it's on the left, put it right. When it's on the right, put it wrong. You understand? And this is what I can't take. Too much hypocrites in this country. They only cheer when it's right for them, and they jeer when it's against them, right? And these people, I'm telling you, people like Senator Alexander and them, just the same thing which you're talking about, the same thing you're speaking about, because these people and them represent that same thing you're speaking about. Very disrespectful to the society. And the leaders who are supposed to correct them and take charge of them, not saying nothing. You understand? And that is what I am looking at. Anyway, gentlemen, have a good day.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Robert. Yeah. And that is the thing about it, because for some people, some things are acceptable because I suppose it's working for them, but you really have to try and, in your space, in your area, come just like what you do in your home, you have to try and set a better standard and try and hold people to that standard. I think because that's all they can really do, because you can't go around with a big stick or in caveman days or walk with a club and hit them everybody on the head. So all you can do is hold yourself to a better standard and try and lift your standard above them, and hope that more people...
Are people even interested in doing that, Sir Charles? Are people even interested? When you grew up, at least in our era, there were things you could say and you could not say. There are things you could say to your parents and you could not say. If big people talking, they'll say, hey, big people talking, go in your room. Or sometimes they don't even have to tell you anything. You just gotta look.
You know what you're supposed to do.
And when you get that look, that is, get away from me or I will slap you. You know the look. You know what that look is. We come on, we are Caribbean children. We are children of Caribbean parents. You know the look. When a look is given, you know that means move. Adults are speaking. And if you said something untowards, your parents could have said whatever, but when you say it, they held you accountable.
Yeah.
Has that gone out the window? Is our primary school system failing in terms of training citizens of the future, adult citizens of the future, how to navigate conflict, or how you speak, what kind of manners you have? If you're on a bus and there's an older person that you can give up your seat, have all of those things gone out of the window in terms of modern society?
I think so, Richard, because you see, and then we have a generation of people coming, and maybe not just this generation, generations before coming, who believe that they have to do it different and do it a little more extreme. Because...
Well, to be fair, if I could interrupt you, Sir Charles, to be fair for Generation Z, which is the young generation now, the ones who are, let's say, 25 and under, to be fair to them, they do have a more activist slant about the planet. They do care more about, so they may be disconnected from the politics because they may think the politics is a little toxic. But they do care more about the planet. They do care more about inclusivity. They do care more about the embracing of humanity than a lot of other generations that are older. And they are more willing to activate their voices on things like that, if you're looking at it from a global perspective. So they're much more activist-oriented about things like that. So there is some pushback from that younger generation in terms of where the planet is going. But
I also believe that, where certain things, how people speak to people, how people react with one another, that tolerance level, that seems to be going into me in a negative direction.
It is. Yeah. Because people feel they can tell you anything, and the leaders across whatever industry, leaders across wherever, don't hold the people you lead to account.
Yeah, and some people also who you think would and should know better because they came from a generation where things were different. They seem now to be falling into line, like badness is happening in your environment. So I believe, what the only way that I could survive in this environment is I have to get bad too. That kind of So that's the only way I could keep them from devouring me. So I have to get big and bad just like them. So if they're cussing or they get on in a particular way and they're unmannerly, I feel, well, here when I need to go in that direction. But we need to try and put it back somehow.
Yeah.
We have to pull it back. We can't let it go the way that it's going.
Empathy. It boils down to empathy and understanding that you coexist on a planet with 8 billion people. And every now and then, in the hustle and bustle of life, you have to let somebody else pass. It's called empathy. You have to move aside and say, you go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay,
Yeah, it's all right. And that empathy is just not being translated in terms of leadership across all levels in Trinidad and Tobago, and quite frankly, the planet. The issue of empathy for other human beings and even religion is failing. Because religion is not even speaking out enough and sometimes gets caught up in being toxic too.
I think it is under threat also. It is it is under threat, and it's fighting for survival. But let's go for the news and come back, please.
All right. 8 o'clock news.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Besessar is defending Trinidad and Tobago's support for U.S. strikes on suspected drug trafficking boats in the Caribbean, saying legal advice received by the government does not classify the fatalities as murders. Speaking at the close of the CARICOM summit in St. Lucia, Prasad Besessar said local investigations have found no evidence that Trinidad and Tobago nationals were among those killed, and stressed the government would act based on the rule of law. CARICOM Chairman Philip J. Pierre said the region remains concerned about the reported loss of life and is still awaiting information from the United States. Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley described the issue as legally and geopolitically complex, adding that while countries have the right to respond to threats, she would prefer solutions that avoid loss of life. Police say the investigation into the death of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi could be completed by the end of this week. Senior Superintendent Rodhill Kirk said investigators have carried out directions from the Director of Public Prosecutions after submitting the case file in April. The DPP is now expected to decide whether any charges should be laid. Angelica died after being struck by a jet ski while swimming at Pigeon Point Beach in Tobago on April 8. The incident prompted the passage of the Tobago Marine Park Bill, which is now awaiting further review before being debated in Parliament. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is reminding event promoters that they are responsible for managing activities at public events and ensuring all license conditions are followed. Speaking at a media briefing, ASP Russell Owie said police officers are deployed to fetes to maintain public safety, while organizers must ensure performances run on schedule and comply with court-approved closing times to prevent disputes. The comments follow the arrest of 5 Silver Stars Steel Orchestra players after a confrontation with police at Tribe's band launch. Owie said the TTPS respects the steel pan community, but because the matter is now before the courts, the police service will not comment further at this time. In some good news, a Presentation College Chaguanas student has been selected to represent Trinidad and Tobago at the prestigious 2026 National Youth Science Camp in West Virginia, USA. Kavir Monbode, a lower 6 student and aspiring doctor, is the country's sole participant in the 3-week STEM program, which runs from July 11th to August 1st. He says he hopes to pursue a career in medicine because of his passion for biology and helping others. Kavir, who is also a National Youth Ambassador and STEM Award winner, thanked the U.S. Embassy and NIHurst for the opportunity. His mother described him as self-driven and said she is proud of his achievements and dedication to science and innovation. Also, the legacy of the late Sundar Popo is set to reach a new international audience, with a remixed version of his iconic hit, Kaise Bani, featured in the Bollywood comedy Damal 4, which opens in local cinemas on July 16th. The new version is performed by Neil Kamal Singh and Mamta Sharma, with rapper Dheeraj Babuan and music producer Aditya Dev. The singers say the energetic remake is a perfect fit for the comedy film. Originally released in 1969, Popo's classic Faluri Bina Chutney Kaise Bani became one of the most recognizable chutney songs and has been remade several times over the years, cementing the Trinidad and Tobago music legend's lasting influence on Indian and Caribbean music. Finally, the conflict between the United States and Iran has escalated again, with both countries exchanging fresh strikes as tensions continue in and around the Strait of Hormuz. The U.S. says it struck 90 Iranian military targets, including coastal defense and military infrastructure, while Iran says the attacks killed at least 14 people. Tehran responded with strikes targeting U.S. assets in Kuwait, Bahrain, and Qatar, and later reported attacks on sites in Jordan and Iraq. Meanwhile, shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has dropped sharply amid the renewed fighting, raising concerns over global energy supplies. The latest violence comes as thousands gathered in Mashhad for the burial of Iran's former supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, with both Washington and Tehran trading sharp warnings over the future of any peace talks. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was news now. Stay informed with new Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Welcome to Inside the Net on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio. Our daily insights as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026. Here is today's insight.
The FIFA World Cup is more than a football tournament. It is a stage where history is written. Every 4 years, millions of supporters witness moments that go far beyond the final score. Some become symbols of sporting excellence. Others spark debate, inspire change, or alter the future of football itself. Few moments captured the world's imagination like Brazil's triumph in 1970. Led by Pelé, that team showcased a style of football built on creativity, teamwork, and flair. Their performances inspired coaches and players around the globe, influencing how future generations approached the beautiful game. Not every unforgettable moment came through celebration. At the 1986 FIFA World Cup, Diego Maradona scored the famous Hand of God goal against England. Just minutes later, he produced the breathtaking solo effort known as the Goal of the Century. 2 goals, one controversial, one magnificent. Together, they became among the most discussed moments in football history and demonstrated how a single match could leave a lasting legacy. The World Cup has also influenced the way football is officiated. Controversial decisions over the years, including Frank Lampard's disallowed goal for England against Germany in 2010, renewed calls for technological assistance. Those debates eventually contributed to the wider adoption of goal line technology and later the use of the video assistant referee, better known as VAR. The tournament has also united nations through unforgettable achievements. When South Africa hosted the FIFA World Cup in 2010, it became the first African nation to stage the competition. It was more than a sporting milestone. It was a celebration of football's global reach and a moment of pride for an entire continent. Every generation has its defining World Cup memory. A goal, a save, a celebration, a heartbreak, or a decision that changed the game forever. As FIFA World Cup 2026 approaches, the next chapter is waiting to be written. Somewhere on the pitches of Canada, Mexico, and the United States, another moment will capture the imagination of billions and become part of football history. Because the FIFA World Cup doesn't simply reflect the evolution of football, it helps shape it. This has been Inside the Net, Road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
You've been listening to Inside the Net as we count down the journey to FIFA World Cup 2026 on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Calling all you Net Radio listeners and fans. It's time to pack your cooler, gather your crews. Join us on Net Radio's Halloween Cooler Crew in red, white, and black. On board the luxurious Island Royalty, Saturday, 15th of August, boarding at 7 p.m. from Hardcuts, Shagaramas. We sail at 8 p.m. sharp. Enjoy great music all night long from your favorite net DJs, Sir Charles, CJ, Mr. Flavor, Doc International, RJ, and Fluffman.
Tell you you's a big dancer. Come show
Early
them who's a
bird
big
tickets are
dancer.
just $200, after $250. Get your tickets now at Crosby in St. James, Rumba, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Crep, Pats International in Arima, K Square Fashions at C3 Center, West Mall and Eastgate Mall, and all net DJs. No glass bottles allowed. Bring your coolers, bring your crews, and let's celebrate together. Net Radio, Halloween Cooler Crew, Saturday, August the 15th, aboard the Island Royalty. For information, call 638-2609 or 497-7173. Halloween on the scene.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Are you a business owner? Well, take advantage of Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV Christmas in July advertising special. Throughout the month of July, enjoy 33% off all advertising packages. Whether you are micro, small, medium, or large business, now is the perfect time to put your product and service in front of the people who matter. Reach your audience through radio, television, and social media, all at 33% off. Don't miss this limited Christmas in July offer. Call us today at 281-1315 or 299-5156 and let Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV help you grow your business. But hurry, this special offer ends July 31st. It's Christmas in July on Net Radio and Gael Caribbean TV.
Flavor Entertainment Services, your one-stop premium entertainment service provider. We offer top-tier, best-in-class karaoke and DJ services for your private events, sports bars and lounge. Let us help make your birthday parties, weddings, anniversaries, and corporate special events memorable and special. Call us now at 462-2029. We provide more than just music. We create memories that last.
Get ready. The road to football's biggest stage starts right here on Net Radio and Gael TV. Join us for Inside the Net, the road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights. Every weekday, take a journey through World Cup history, legendary players, unforgettable goals, football's greatest nations, rising stars, iconic stadiums, and the stories behind the beautiful game. From Brazil to Argentina, Germany to France, and every nation chasing football glory. Join us daily at 7:55 a.m. and 11:55 a.m. Don't just watch the World Cup, live the passion. Inside the Net, road to FIFA World Cup 2026 Insights.
All right, everybody, and of course, good morning to you once again. We welcome you back to the breakfast show. Of course, we just crossed inside of the third hour. It's now 18 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock on this beautiful Friday morning. Yes, in spite of everything, it is a beautiful Friday morning. The weekend is here, and I'm hoping that you guys are going to have a really fantastic weekend. So many things we have been talking about all morning, and we're going to continue to take your calls in a little bit. Just some things to get out of the way before we get back to your calls, right? So you can stand by, don't go anywhere. We will get back to your calls in a little bit. Of course, Richard is doing a little relocation at this point in time, but he will be back with us shortly, okay? All right, so a couple of things that I need to let you know. Well, one thing that I definitely need to let you know is that, hey, Colorwee, the Cooler Cruise is coming up, right? So get ready, because August the 15th, we are going cruising. So I want to personally invite all of you who listen to Net Radio, all our listeners and supporters. We want your support, and we want you to come out and hang out with us on August the 15th. It's always a nice experience. I've said it before, when you get to put faces finally to the voices that we hear. So when you meet someone, say, you know, I am this and I am so and so from here, there's a kind of joy that really, I can't really even explain it, but it's one that I look forward to. So we want you to come online with us. We are looking forward to hanging out with you. All our presenters and DJs, as possible, humanly possible, we are all trying to be there on the 15th of August. So you get to meet go and hang out with the breakfast team. Hopefully, once Wendell is in the country, or you know, Richard ain't going away, and I'm always here with you. But we're looking forward to line with you guys. Of course, all of the DJs and other presenters in the other time zones. Come and see who Denise Deming is. I can see if I can get Denise to come on the boat. Got Thomas, all those guys. Cassie coming on the boat, right? Nice. So we're looking for everybody to come on the boat, right? And of course, our DJs. We have a really fantastic lineup of DJs. If you have not experienced them as yet, trust me, after that, you will not forget them, right? So Mr. Flavor, he's going to be there. RJ, Docs International. Yeah, total mashup on the board. And of course, DJ Fluffman is going to be there also. We have our weekend DJs, DJ Timeless. He's promising to pass through. So I look forward to DJ Timeless. We have not hooked up for a little bit. And of course, yours truly, Sir Charles and Selector CJ. Trust me, when we're on the boat mash up. It mash up, fine, like chili baby. Yeah, right? So stack your coolers, stack them good. Put everything that you want to drink in the cooler. Remember, no glass bottles, right? You have to put everything in plastic, but you can work with your coolers, whatever you're drinking, and whatever you feel that we drinking, bring it, because we linemen and we going right down until we lie down. All right. What we ain't drink on the boat, trust me, when the boat come back 12 o'clock, we're gonna put the speakers outside and the pier, and we just going and party until that cooler done. Okay? You ain't kind of nothing. No extra weight you kind of. We're drinking everything, right? And it's going to be a fun time. So come on out on August the 15th. Remember, we will be boarding at 7 p.m. We are sailing at 8 p.m. So between 7 and 8, we're boarding. Try and get yourself organized, reach down early. There's ample parking and secured parking for your vehicles and stuff. And 8 o'clock we're sailing. By midnight, we're back. Okay? So we won't be out there too late, because I know some of you have a little thing with the lateness, but that's all right, right? So, but get your tickets. Now, your tickets are available right now. They are just $200, the early bird tickets, and I'm telling you, the tickets are moving. So we want you to get your tickets early, because after the early bird tickets, which are $200, you will have to pay $250. So it's important that you get it right now. So go and check out Rumbucks in St. James. Check out Crosby's in St. James also. Bobby's Bar in Kirab. Go and check out Fats International. Ask for Howard, and get your tickets. You can also get it at K Squared Fashions. They have 3 locations that we are using. The one at Eastgate Mall in Trinity, West Mall, and C3 Center. All right. And we're going to dance tonight, but get your tickets. You can also get your tickets from any one of the DJs and presenters here at Net Radio, and we have some of our listeners also who have tickets and are pushing the cruise. So we want to thank everybody in advance for coming on board and making the thing happen. All right, so yeah, so it's Cooler Cruise, and it's pre-Independence. We're just a couple weeks before Independence. So, we're representing. And of course, Net colors are independent colors. We are red, white, and black. Most of our branding is that way, red, white, and black. All right, so you can match it, or if you want to look like the flag, you can do that too. Okay? But just come out and get ready to have a fantastic ride on board the Island Royalty. All right, so also, if you are not able to, because not everybody is able, not everybody doing the cruise thing like before. We have some of our listeners who have gone past that. But you know what? You can support us. You can support us by purchasing a ticket or 2, and we would appreciate that. All that will help in making sure that we are able to pay for the boat. Right? So get your tickets or support us by buying a ticket or 2 or 3 or 4, how many you want to ever do it. And and I want to continuously say thanks to our some of our listeners and supporters who have already purchased tickets and sent it. We are going to be giving away some of those tickets on the breakfast show next week. Yeah, so who knows, you can win yourself a ticket, but you're winning one, but you have to buy one. Okay, so you're good to go. If you buy one already, no problem. You could win the other one, right? But if you have not bought one, to win it, you will have to buy one also. So from Monday, we try to start to do that giveaway in the 8 o'clock hour. Okay? But it's going to be a fun ride. It's all to help us stay outside here. And, your support is greatly appreciated. So buy a ticket, purchase the tickets, organize your team, organize your crew, tell everybody about it, and let them know on August 15th, we are going cruise in. All right, so I see a couple calls coming in, but before we get there, it is Friday, and it's time for our Let's Laugh segment. Now, I'm telling you, this one, you have to listen to it very carefully, because if you don't listen, you're going to miss it. Okay? Let's go.
Hey, how you going? Uncle Errol, how you good? I hope so, Now, when an ordinary man, like you, me, get hauled before the court, it's a serious thing. Now, the system gives us the opportunity to have bail. But when we get bail, we still out, I mean, to say, when we are offered bail, we still out. We still have to find somebody with property or money to present the money or to present the deed for the property. Yeah, if you have property, they can present the deed and we can get bail and we can get out. But Dominic do have a problem with that because Dominic had deed. Yeah.
Oh my word. Errol, vintage Errol there for you guys, all right? I hope all they catch the joke there in between there, right? Dominic don't have to worry about getting out because he had it. Okay, that's our Let's Laugh segment here on the net. Friday, we tend to lighten it up a little bit, give you the opportunity to, just feel good about yourself and hang out and stuff, right? All right, so now that we have gotten all of that out of the way, you can call us at 2811315 or 299-5156. And yeah, let's hear what you have to say. Caller, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, Dabade.
Good morning. So, Charles, oh gosh, 100% better than last week. That laugh, that Let's Laugh.
Oh, right? you like this one better than the English joke?
Of course, Waters had it.
Yeah, he had it. Okay.
Oh my goodness. I really love Errol Fabian and Larry Joseph and all of them. I wish all of them could come on a concert again like longer. I used to go to those things now.
Yes.
I used to love comedy. I used to go to all the comedy shows long ago. But like they hardly have them now.
Yeah, hardly. You don't really get them as much as thing. And some of the comedians at today, some of the jokes, oh gosh. But these vintage guys are really good. Really, really good. You can't take anything from them.
I think for Errol Fabian is one of the best, to come up with these things, Everybody had it.
Oh, they had it.
Yeah, boy. Anyway, so Charles, hear this, huh? Now, as you always say, you have your opinion of things, right? I listened to the interview with Dr. Rowley on CNC3 last night. He had an interview with Dr. Salmon. And I saw Richard made mention of it in the newspapers where Dr. Rowley spoke about people are fearful. So Charles, he is correct. Gone are the days when we could have called on the radio on programs like yours. We're not cursing, we're not maligning, we're not libeling anybody. But as a though we had to know what word to use, what sentence to put it in, because we're going to get called over the course if we speak about a certain government or the leader of the government. And that didn't used to be so, because if that was the case, well, watch now, Dr. Rowley would have be full of money, because there's a certain television station I used to listen to. I stopped because of that. Those callers were calling Dr. Rowley all kind of names, and the host, I mentioned it earlier, the host never told them, nah, we ain't going on that road, He used to laugh. Right? So I had called in to find out. I said, but why are you allowing this? Because people come to enjoy listen to comments, not talking about the leader of the country in those terms. I gotta be thinking light, man. That is not no joke. But guess what? If those same people were saying things against this current prime minister, I wonder what would have happened. So Charles, people are fearful. People are fearful because they know where the next meal coming from. They know when they're talking on the phone who listening because they can't talk certain things. They're on the street, and I've heard them because of course where I have my business, I talk to people on the road. On the street, they say, boy, they know where we're going. This place just stagnant. Stagnant. So isn't that something to be fearful of, such as we don't know where we're going? The country is just like it's an autopilot. No governance whatsoever. And the leaders not saying nothing to the nation. Come in, go in, say nothing, such as. Isn't that something to be fearful about? What about just now? Look, school closing today or closed yesterday. Hopeless come home. More than one child you have in school. What you gonna do? The government giving a grant, but that can do nothing much. It could help, but it can't do everything, right? Because books are very expensive. Uniform, fabric, very expensive. Such as what the mother going to do, what the father going to do. They might be fearful of, oh my God, what next? And guess what? Things that I don't even want to happen. Thoughts could be running through people's head to let the devil find work for the idle hands. That is fearful as well, such as. So I believe people are genuinely fearful of what is happening in our country at this present time. And it's not because of a different government or the government they don't like. I don't want to like no government. I want the place to be governed, not to like. The place must be governed properly, and it is not happening. So Charles, I am fearful. Anyway, Morocco has gone home, and that was my team. They did not turn up for the game yesterday. I did not see Morocco play football. I see they just come on the field. But so, by the way, so Charles, did you look at the game?
Actually, no, I did not.
Well, here what happened after the first half. I see 3 minutes gone. The second half ain't start yet. I see France on the field. I say, wait now. Like they coming back out. They were late in coming back out. I never see that happen in football. The come out late, come inside where they were. I was like, what the jail is this? Like they give up. And when they walked out and they started to play, it was even worse than the first half. So they didn't turn up yesterday to play football. So France was looking good because they got 2 goals. And France didn't play so good either, but just the other team play even worse. I guess they didn't want to support. They realized they didn't get no kind of opposition from Morocco, so they decided to play a little laid back. But congratulations to France for the same. That was my 3rd place team, so I still have somebody inside. Right, so Charles, so have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, no problem, Davide. 28113-152995156. I hear the arguments of all those things that have been said. I'm kind of still waiting to see, what it is exactly, that people cannot say, that they are not saying. I understand the situation of the protesting in certain areas. Well, as I said, every administration will have a different way of doing certain things. Security people will make recommendations. It still doesn't mean that you cannot protest, right? You may not be able to protest in front of the Red House, but it doesn't mean that you cannot protest in other areas. But when it comes to, as you say, people can't say what they want. People, if you are saying things that are factual, you are still able to say all those factual things. If you're trying to slander and what you are the information that you are putting out is not correct, or the way in which that you want, the derogatory ways in which some people were doing things on social media, calling for people to kill people and all those kinds of things. I don't think under any administration those things would be tolerated, But as I said, I'm just kind of assessing the situation. Caller, good morning to you.
Good morning to Charles and Richard.
Morning, dear man.
when I hear people complaining about how their rights are being taken away and how they're suffering and they lose their work, I just say, wait, some of y'all voted for that and y'all just reaping the whirlwind now, right? When I see on the papers, listen to the radio and hear them complaining, I just say, you think Dr. Rowley, as Prime Minister, could have do what Kamala Persad-Bissessar doing now? Listen, they'd have bring out the riot squad long time. They would have mash up Port of Spain. What?
Like
Dr.
what?
Rowley,
Like what you're talking about exactly?
I'm talking about all who lost their work under CPEP, Europeans still losing their work, and they're afraid to say anything. You think, so Charles, just try and imagine. Dr. Rowley won that election on April the 28th, 2025, and it wasn't even a month. They start to send home people. People start losing their work. Yeah, now. You know, the SS Roosevelt was here. Is the SS Roosevelt or the Gerald Ford? One of them battleship from the U.S. They would have reached Trinidad a long time because they would have mashed up this place. What? You just, when we vote for you, and that is what you do, man, listen, I just hear now, when I hear them complaining, I just laugh. I just say, oh, you're enough like the dog and the bone. Right? Because all you had it and all you let go and all you put this lady in power and look what she doing all year. Every time I hear them and they're right and this and we can't that, all you have to take it because some of all you voted that the UNC government could get the power to do what they're doing to all you. So don't complain. Don't complain at all. Just take it with a smile, right? And I want to tell the UNC, as Dr. Early was talking up last night on the thing, which is all you have with Balize House. What? All you're jealous that 3-story building going up there, and the UNC like Mrs. Howard's cat, they're all over the place. Really? No, don't let that red building burn all your eye. They tell no drug money that helping build that new Balize House. Just leave Balize House alone. Have a blessed weekend.
All right, okay, no problem, Mr. Martin. But under every administration, jobs are lost, you know. I don't think it's a situation that this is the first time that we would have lost jobs. Under the last administration, people lost their jobs also in a lot of industries that closed up, folded up, you know. And as you said, nobody then riot then either. So, good morning, caller.
Morning. So Charles, Richard was saying some things about since 1962, you know, he had no foot square. I call the university with foot square. I remember that little boy passing through the square. And some of them drove on them, the six more drove on them. And these guys and them had a little conversation, a little bit. Everybody talking about things of interest that is affecting the country, both internationally and locally. And you could have stood up and listened and learned from these guys, right? Based on information received by the conversation they carried. And you could have learned certain things, right? When the last regime was in power, the present regime gave them left, right, and center. And now they put laws in place for people to zip people out. So in other words, you can't say nothing. You must be quiet and do what? That's not making any sense. Because at the end of the day, we all have to speak out by a protest. When people protest, in order to get things to make things right, when something is affecting you, you get a mandate to run the country, and you're not running the country. Imagine PNM still, the comment PNM still here. Because everything they're saying, and they compare them. PNM didn't do this, PNM didn't do that, PNM this, PNM that, Rowley this, Rowley that. And you know, how long will they go on with that? For the next 5 years? But run the country. You get a mandate, run the country, right? Don't waste time on things that are already passed. You deal with the present now. Get up and do what you're supposed to do. You understand? According to one of the callers said, your place here to govern. We don't want to know what happened then. Do your work that they paid it for. And stop with the nonsense.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kola. But that particular part of it, every administration does that, Kola. Every administration blames the last administration. The last administration blamed the last administration for almost 10 years for everything that was happening. So that is probably like the politics have a beast of its own that it creates, but what I'm saying is that even if Woodford Square is off limits for people to air their concerns, is there nowhere else that we could use if people have concerns that they want to raise those concerns? Right? Is there no other space? If you say it in Woodford Square, if you say it now in Memorial Square, if you say it in Victoria Square, if you say it up in the Queen's Park Savannah, will the message still not be heard? Or is it that the message is only heard in Woodford Square? Kola, good morning.
Hey, Sir Charles, yes, sir.
I am good, Dean. Good morning to you.
Yeah, two things. Now, you were talking about, the youth thing. One thing I've noticed, moving around and doing the little community interactions and stuff, people still have this way of working together and building the little house and building the homes and supporting each other in different ways. Yeah, so, you see, I have to be the eternal optimist in that kind of, what people need is support mechanisms to kind of resolve. But I see the framework and the architecture there when I see men being resilient and people coming together to support their resilience and building their homes and supporting them and going where they need to go. And I've seen it. But we need to learn how to tweak it and support it. And those are the mechanisms I think that I feel it. And the question is, how do you support those mechanisms? Get those things up and going in a way to support people to be better resilient. Now, the other thing about what people talking about being afraid and being things, I think you have to acknowledge that there's a different tinge in this thing about, we all do it and we all do it. Some people do it differently to each other, right? And I think in this inception of the 2.2, Campbell 2.2 is a different tinge of how they are approaching it. And it's a very blatant, very hostile, and very open. And it's an open hostility. And they are taking a mechanism which I will say is a kind of, people don't want to say, it's a kind of right-wing authoritarian approach. Those things are documented, what we see in here. So the hostility and fear that people talk about could be perceptions. It could be real, or it could be a thing, but that is how authoritarianism works. It sets an atmosphere. So when people come in and say they're fearful, I have a family member right now on her job site, it's hostility because they wanted to break a contract, and they're doing all kind of things. And so, and either say that that was how it was and that's how it is, but that's not how it's supposed to be. But what we have to know is that in the inception, there was a certain type of people coming from the parliamentary area and from our prime minister, and that tinged itself to a kind of political philosophy. We are approaching it this way. And we are approaching it in this manner because, when I listen to the people, some of the people you all have been interviewing and things, because it worked for me last time and it worked for me this time, so it will hopefully work for them this time. I mean, we have to acknowledge that. And then we have to acknowledge the kind of this independence of the police and the state. We see in a wraparound and a deeper relationship. So in that kind of thing, you have to ask other kind of questions. I know we could try to glib it off as this is how the politics go, right? That is one thing we could always analyze, and that is something we have to get rid of this. But we have to acknowledge that there's a heated room at the moment, because when people say the same way, if a child come and tell you they feel fearful of Uncle Johnny, you don't say, well, you have to acknowledge the fear of the child. And then you get into the resolution of things to recognize that what is the perception. And I think when we dismiss people's fears and people think, we dismiss the ability to analyze our politics and where it is going and why it is going there. Because we all say, because we have lived under a kind of politics. The one leader, one rule. Some people will say paternalism, patriarchal, and to a certain extent authoritarianism. We heard Barnes James talking about that in the interview with Hank. So people have been leading, our leaders and analysts have been leading and pushing us into that direction.
Okay.
In how they're understanding what is the philosophical groundwork of this new inception of our governance. And we have to be real about it, or we will end up in a monkey pan situation.
I mean, Dean, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I mean, but I think generally, even though we would have had that maximum leader syndrome, which kind of infected all Caribbean countries post-independence, that you had certain maximum leaders, and that and the awe of those leaders kind of waned as time passed, right? Because there was a point at which Derek Williams was not criticized by a vast majority of the population. He was held in awe. And then as the years passed, criticisms and even books started to critique his leadership stand. But even though we had that maximum leadership thing, and I'm speaking specifically on the Trinidad and Tobago space, the Constitution always gave you the protections against the power of the state. So there was always legislative backup through the Constitution that enshrined certain fundamental rights. I will agree with you that this government is the most right-wing government we've ever had in terms of leaning in that direction. I agree with that, because you could see evidence of it, and you could see certainly a type of Trumpian. There has been an unabashed admiration for the Trump administration and their style by the current administration. And there is a lot of mimicking of that style in terms of how you deal with dissent, how you deal with opponents. There's a mimicking. You get a sense that there is a mirror image happening. Not complete mirror image, but certainly a mirror image. So I will agree with you that it is the most right-wing government we've ever had. Because we've always had governments that, even though they would have made decisions you disagreed with, there wasn't that type of atmosphere that you are alluding to.
Yeah.
So, Charles, you made a point about people could protest in other places. That is kind of apologist and pandering to what is unusual in the state of the country. And when you have people like you, and I don't mean to criticize you in any way that is personal, but when you have people that say things like that, it's a constant, subtle erosion of what is normal, and acceptance that decisions that are abnormal are being made normal by excuses.
Yeah, but Richard, let me
just finish. And so that the fact that you cannot protest in front of a police station, or the fact that you cannot protest in Woodford Square, which coincidentally is opposite Parliament, which is where all protests have taken place, including from this current administration, it's unusual post-1962. And when you try to water it down by saying things like, Well, there are other places, go Queen's Park, Savannah, it's not such a big deal. No, it is a big historical deal.
Okay, so
It is a big historical deal, and you can't minimize it. Even though there may be alternative spaces, but it's an erosion of saying to you, you can walk here, but you cannot walk here.
Okay, so I hear that, Richard, but the reality of it is the state that has the power and the government that has the power has put certain things in place. What do you do in that regard? As Dean said, the government is doing what it has to push back, whatever is the case. What do you do in a situation like that? So okay, they say
first of all,
wait, hold on. They say we don't want protests here, and we don't want protests here. Is it that because they have the arm of the state and the resources and the law that they put in place? So is it because they have said it? You now decide, well, okay, well then we are not going to protest. We still have to find ways to get our voices out, and that is unnecessary.
That may seem logical, but let me tell you what it does, Sir Charles.
What is the
let me tell you, but let me finish. Let me tell you what it says. What it is actually transmitting to you as a wannabe protester, whoever that is that dissent is under watch. And when you start to impose restrictions and hostile restrictions, or interpreted by people as hostile restrictions, you may have still the right to protest, and they will tell you that in one other voice, which is how some regimes operate. But by the actions, they're telling you, we are watching dissent.
All right, I want you to hold
it. And that's a psychological shadowing and shadowing and pressing down on dissent from a human behavior point of view.
All right, Richard, hold 1 minute. Let me just take this call. We'll come back. Caller, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Sir Charles. Richard.
Morning, caller.
All right. Firstly, I would like to say, Trinidadians, we need to stop letting these politicians use us and have us how they want. Because politicians go, politicians come, PNM, UNC, they continue to do what they want when they're in power. We need, as citizens, to unite and stop studying race with this African and this East Indian thing. Because that's not doing nothing for us, and the politicians keep using that on us. I think that we need to change the constitution where at least the citizens have 51% to run the country. So the politician will be working for us and not doing what they want. And until we get to that point, politicians will come and go, and they will continue to do what they want, get rich. Because politics is not about building this country anymore. It's about building themselves. And they continue to put the people and divide the people. And that is what is going on, and it will continue to go on. People in Trinidad have to remember and stop getting amnesia. I want to ask this question. Did our economy end up in this position in 1 year? Since
Absolutely
UNC?
not.
No. So don't blame UNC, and then when PNM in power, they said UNC do this, and then you want to blame PNM. We have to stop let the politicians do this to us. You understand? Because they will continue doing it, and nobody will ever get the right what we're supposed to get. So Trinidad and Tobago, stop allowing politicians to use this card on us and do what they want. For the PNMites, who they can't say nothing bad about the PNM. Who was the man that made PNM how it is today? Mr. Manning was doing a great job, and Mr. Rowley went behind Mr. Manning. Did Mr. Rowley change or do anything different? No. When he was there, he was arrogant, and he did what he wanted. We have Kamala here. She doing what she wants. So people stop allowing these politicians to use us as puppets and run the country how they want. Because all the bills that pass, police and them doing what they want right now. And who passed the bill for the police to get all that thing? The police doing what they want because they're on their own. Who passed that bill? So let's stop blaming PNM and UNC and unite and let we deal with this problem to fix Trinidad and Tobago because the politicians don't care about Trinidad and Tobago and certain people might be vexed. What is the truth?
Okay,
So
Kola,
somebody
thanks
has to
much. Yeah, thanks much for your
I was curious because he said a point he made, that glass caller, was saying that the, the country should be run 51% by the people and 49% by the politicians. But how do you actually achieve that in a practical way? It's difficult because 1.5 million people can't run a country. You have to have a leader, right? So how does that work? How do you keep leadership in check in terms of the people within a democracy when you have a specific term in office? In a Trinidad and Tobago context, it's 5 years. In the US, it's 4 years, right? And well, depending on Congress and Senate, it will shift. It's not all at the same time, deliberately. But in a Trinidad and Tobago context, it's 5 years. So what exactly is that caller suggesting? Because I was trying to rationalize it in my mind. He wants, from that statement, he wants more democracy. And he wants more people control over what politicians do.
Yeah, it's more people
And the only way to me that you could do that is that you have to have some system a system of recall, where you can say, okay, if you have 250,000 signatures on a poll, that's a digital poll, and you have 250,000 legitimate accredited voters, that says we need to go to a referendum for a recall to generate or force another general election because the whatever party is in power, you're not satisfied. You get those 250,000, and then it generates that election process of whether recall can happen or not. And the only way the recall succeeds is if, let's say, 60% of the electorate votes for the recall. So it's a little of a high bar. All right? That's the only way I could see something like that working.
Yeah.
And that's 60% of the population have to say, yes, we agree with the recall, and then constitutionally that forces a recall and the government has to resign. That's the only way I could see something like that working, in terms of that you're still putting the power back in the hands of the people in terms of monitoring any government's performance within that 5-year term.
Yeah. Anyhow, we'll continue the conversations in during the weekend stuff, because we are at 9 o'clock, just bordering on 9 o'clock. I would probably like us to probably try and continue that conversation, Richard, as to what the people do when governments put things in place. It's something that we could look at, right? But we got to go for today. So thank you very much for listening, people. Don't forget to get your tickets for the Cooler Cruise. It's coming up on the 15th of August. Let me tell you where you can get those tickets once more. Remember, you can get them at Rumbox in St. James. You can also get them at Crosby, St. James, Bobby's Bar in Europe, Fats International in Arima, K-Squared Fashions at Eastgate Mall, West Mall, and C3 Center. You can also call our numbers here, 281-1315-299-5156, or check any one of the DJs and presenters here at NET, and we will definitely deliver your tickets to you. But remember, it's a Cooler Cruise, 15th of August on the Island Royalty, right? Come out and support it. If you can't directly come to the cruise, still buy a ticket. Still buy a ticket and support the station, all right? That's all I can tell you guys this morning before we go on this Friday. Richard?
Yeah, so have a fantastic weekend, whatever you decide to do with your weekend. And remember, even though things can bother you, whatever it is, your personal life, finances, your politics, the society, whatever it is that bothers you, you still need to take a breather and relax and meditate, or just have fun, because life is about balance. And so the weekend is an opportunity to do that, whatever it is. It may be simply that your own me time, in terms of delinking from everything. Whatever it is, do it for your own sanity and your own peace of mind and for your own enjoyment of life. All right? Remember, we discuss all sorts of issues on this show, but we're just discussing because we want Trinidad and Tobago to be better. Well, me, I'm competitive. I want Trinidad to be the best place on the planet where you can live.
Yeah.
That's me. I just go for the whole on show.
Yeah.
So just keep that in the focus, and release it when we end the show at 9 a.m. So have a fantastic day, people, across Trinidad and Tobago and across the planet, wherever you joined us. We know you have a choice and we're glad that you chose us. NetRadioTT.com is where you go to listen to the excellent programming throughout the rest of the day. Net Radio Trinidad is what you go to on your smart devices. You can say play NETT Radio Trinidad on TuneIn and you're good to go. And you can listen to the show for the rest of the day and over the weekend, where you'll have lots of excellent music choices on Net Radio Trinidad. So have a fantastic day, people. Enjoy a weekend. Weekends are to be enjoyed. Have fun. Don't let nobody twist up your head. Just enjoy it. And remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. You have been listening and watching for the entire week.
The Breakfast Show.
That's it.
And Andre comes up inside of the mid-morning today, people. So stay with him, all right?
It's a Friday, baby. Doesn't know. Yes, I'm on my way. DJ Cassidy on the remix, baby. Needed a friend, and the way I feel now, I guess I'll be with you till the end. South Africa to the world. Yes, I'm on my way. Shake what your mama gave ya. Mighty glad to see. Hey.
Get up, get up. It's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned